Our goal was 100 pounds off. We can get this bike as light as the DX, but with modern power and more power, this thing will be a beast to ride. We have to do this. We started chipping away at it, and obviously carbon fiber is very light. Titanium is very light. Aluminum is lighter than steel. And so anywhere we could swap those materials out on this bike, we did. We were getting the bike, but we were at Daytona Beach, Florida. We got to go to Moto America and walk kind of behind the scenes and check out Harley's factory race team, as well as the whole pit row of privateers with tons of custom parts. Two things that those guys go for: it's lighter and faster, and for the most part stronger. And so those three things actually were what we set out for. We were just drooling at these bikes. We were like, man, it would be really cool to have a bike that we could street ride, but it has a lot of these features that these racers are basically riding on. That means increase the horsepower, lighten this thing up as much as possible, but aesthetically keep it looking like a cruiser Harley-Davidson with saddlebags, a fairing, and that's really where it started.
We've been working heavy on the design. We just kicked off the scanning, then it's on to prototyping, testing. I'm definitely very numbers driven, very analytical. Lance is more like, this feels really good, we got to do that.
I want these bars to be in the fairing, like tucked in like this.
But we have that balance. It works out really well. And then with the 3D scanner, we'll get the data from the factory bike and then we'll make tweaks to it, whether it's take material out, change the design. We're not focusing on making a show bike that just looks really good. We're going to be focused on making a bike that is super fun to ride, and you're going to get those same reactions from it as if it was just a show-built bike.
That pride really of being a professional athlete, it's definitely a hard thing to say, oh, I'm going to retire from this and go do something else. I was making custom pieces on my dirt bikes, different ways that you could perform backflip tricks. You would need custom pieces. We would be making these custom parts, but I'd ride to his machine shop with my Harley. And then we were in there and there were some extra pieces and I was like, oh man, we should make a little top clamp or something and put a little engraving on it. Here we are today, 9 years into Thrash and Supply, and we're building a bike for Harley-Davidson and Born Free 14, and I have Juan with me to help me out, and it's a dream come true, and we're living it every day.
What led me towards aerospace engineering, that's what I got my degree in, was more of the software and simulation stuff, because I felt like I could apply that technology and that software to things in cars and motorcycles and motorsports. And ultimately, a lot of the high-end materials like carbon fiber, titanium, aluminum, all that came from the aerospace industry. My goal was let me learn as much of information that gets applied to airplanes, and let me see if I can do it to cars and bikes. Just by adding a really small feature like that, right? So from the outside, the part doesn't look any different, but we just made it way stronger. So this is kind of one of the things that we did to a lot of the pieces. This didn't take many iterations. It was maybe the second time we printed it, and then we went to the milled part out of metal so you could see the difference there.
It started off slowly, right? A lot of our ideas and conception, and then in the last 2 to 3 weeks, Juan and I have burned the midnight oil more than not. We realized that once we started bolting components on all together, things didn't work with each other. We definitely thought it was going to go together in 2 days, and now here we are 2 weeks later, and we're still kind of fine-tuning a couple things.
I do think projects like this for sure elevate the brand, but also the motorcycle industry. Just bringing in other technologies, 3D scanning, the 3D printing, those are things that we had to think outside the box and rely on those technologies to speed things up. I would say it was a roller coaster of emotions, a little bit of everything, but like the final product has been amazing and worth every bit of it.
On this 23 Lowrider ST, we switched up the wheel sizing. We went with 17 on the front and 17 on the rear. We did this custom set of 3D printed mid-controls that works with our Thrash and Supply foot pegs, as well as shift arm, shifter tip, brake arm, hand controls into the front of the fairing. Since we removed the inner fairing, we have a little more room there now. So we went with dual Brembo radial mount brakes on this bike. So we threw on our Thrashin stainless anti-reversion exhaust, front Öhlins FGR 250s. We went with the Öhlins 13.5-inch reservoir shock on this bike. One of the big things you're gonna notice is that these bags from the interior look completely different. That slimmed the bags down about 3 inches. Overall, when we rolled that bike on the scale just yesterday, both of us were like jaw dropped and shocked at the savings that we got on this bike. We were able to drop 144 pounds. That is also with increasing the horsepower to 140 and 150 foot-pounds of torque. The thing is just a dream.